I don't hear the luck that he got to the final with the Chelsea. I don't care. Like we've seen lucky teams do it before. We've seen Mourinho do it with Porto. We've seen Di Matteo do it. Come on, man. The guy was a fraud. It's about time he got sacked, man. And Chelsea fans, they were there being soft-hearted because he got them a Champions League. No, he needed to go. The football was awful. He was dedicated to three at the back. And when he tried to change it, it was awful because he doesn't know what other football to play. He lost the dressing room at PSG. He lost the dressing room again. He's finished. He's finished. I'm glad he's finished as well.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Yes, people, another edition of Knightz on the Roundtable Discussions where we discuss all sports all the time. Got my guy, The Truth, in the building. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, good in the hood, man.
Listen, it's a glorious day, fam. It's a glorious day. Chelsea fans are upset. So
it's true, you know. Chelsea upset. Tottenham are drawing. Liverpool getting spanked. It's a calm day. It's a calm day. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm telling you, people. Yes, Footie Chat is back. Listen, there's a lot to get through. There's a lot to get through, so I won't be even wasting any time. As usual, you know what to do. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get the likes up, get the subscriptions up. Say all the time, share. We are here, and don't forget to join our social media pages as well. Links are in the description. Truth, there's only one place to start. We know what it is. Thomas Tuchel has been sacked by Chelsea Football Club. It's a bit of a mad one. 20 months in charge, 3 trophies won, and they have given man his P45. Were you telling me? What do you think about that straight off the bat?
Bob, you know what I think about that. It's been a long time coming. I have said from the get-go, from that very season when he won the Champions League, people were calling me ridiculous. People were saying, you don't know this, you don't. Fam, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Tommy Tap-Out Tuchel, fam. He is what? Tell me right now, answer the question. What is the difference between Tommy Tap-Out Tuchel and Roberto Di Matteo? Tell me what the difference is.
Tuchel's probably got more pedigree.
No, the difference is Di Matteo beat Liverpool at Wembley. That is the difference. Di Matteo's a better manager because he beat Liverpool at Wembley. He won 2 major trophies. Don't disrespect Di Matteo. And he's still got the boot. So why are we teaching Tuchel any different? He's a fraud. His football is whack. What pedigree? Fam got to a Champions League final in a COVID season against Munich and still bottled it. I don't hear the luck that he got to the final with the Chelsea. I don't care. Like we've seen lucky teams do it before. We've seen Mourinho do it with Porto. We've seen Di Matteo do it. Come on, man. The guy was a fraud. It's about time he got sacked, man. And Chelsea fans, they were there being soft-hearted because he got them a Champions League. No, he needed to go. The football was awful. He was dedicated to three at the back. And when he tried to change it, it was awful because he doesn't know what other football to play. He lost the dressing room at PSG. He lost the dressing room again. He's finished. He's finished. I'm glad he's finished as well.
Look, people. The Truth just went on one there. He went on one there. And
no, because I said this a while ago. And then people are saying, oh, no, you're being too harsh. I told it to a bunch of Chelsea fans earlier this week. I said, you guys, I'm actually telling them that they deserve better. They're like, no, we want fossil football. We want 3 at the back. We want a guy that don't know what he's doing. We want a guy that's out of his depth. And I want my apology back over Lukaku because now we know it was Tuchel's fault. It was Tuchel's fault.
Look, people, listen. I'm just going to say this straight. If you're looking for sympathy for anything to do with Chelsea, you're not going to get it. Again, he was invited on the podcast and he's not here. So exactly. I don't want to hear there isn't no positive representation of Chelsea. I don't want to hear this or that or the other. you were invited, you didn't turn up. So this is now the slaughter of Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel. This is what this show is now for the first part anyway. But look, look, at the end of the day, I see it like this, right? And I'm going to try and because I agree with you to a certain extent. I do think he deserved a little bit more time.
He got the time. If Abramovich was here last season, he would have been gone in January or gone whenever. He got his time. He got a whole extra season that he should have.
Nah, I think he deserved a little bit more time. There's two parts to it. One, because I think getting the Champions League, we know how difficult it is to do it. So I think he deserved to at least get till December, January, when the transfer window opens back up again. The second thing is, I think the
Champions League bought him time. Remember the end of the season that he won the Champions League was awful. That Champions League bought him time. It bought him that season. Now was the time to do something. And Ted is my guy. He called up Abramovich. He said, Abramovich, what would you do? Abramovich said, get the axe. And he chopped him. Apparently, Tuchel was in the toilet, was looking at his phone, and he read it on Sky Sports. He didn't even know he was gone before he knew. He was gone before he knew.
Look, and the second reason is because I think Fat Frank got like 18 more days, or is it less days than Tuchel or something like that? And I'm like, if you're affording Fat Frank, who we all know cannot manage a football team that amount of time, I think Tuchel had earned enough to get till December, January.
Fat Frank is a legend. Come on.
Yeah, but still, like he's a legend for deflected goals. But as a manager, we all know he's dog shit, bruv. Like you shouldn't be managing a football team.
We know the manager is dog shit.
But look, in all seriousness, I personally think he deserved a little bit more time. I think he should have got till December, January, and I think so because the players that have been brought in. And some of them are players that he wanted, not all. Like Abba came here for him. Now he's going to be getting someone else. The amount of money spent.
You're telling me this summer, these were all his signings?
I don't think they were all his signings. I don't think he co-signed all of them. I think I've heard from like Chelsea fans on their various platforms. Not all these signings were Tuchel signings.
But let's remember, Chelsea have a football model. Their model is to buy a bunch of robotic players, and it's up to the manager coming in to program these players to whatever they need to do. They don't have the model of the manager comes in, picks his players, and then forms his team under his shape. No, you have to shape whatever you have there. That is the Chelsea model. That's what it's been for the last 20 years. So he has to follow that model. He took that job knowing this.
No, I hear you. Listen, I hear you. I'm just saying it from a personal standpoint. You know what I mean? I mean, you got to 2 cup finals last season, lost them on penalties, obviously both against Liverpool. I think he earned a little bit more in the bank. But you are 100% right. If you don't do the business at Chelsea, you're going to get sacked. And it was the Roman era. Shout out to Tooth and his boys. We're not going to get into that because we're trying not to get cancelled. But you know what it is. And now the Bowley's come in and he said, like, I want to change it up. But truth, let's look at it from this perspective, right? Because Chelsea as a football club are in problems. You got this guy that's just bought it, right? Spent the money. He was the one that was doing the signings. Got rid of the director of football, got rid of the technical director, got rid of the chief executive for something, I can't remember. Right, so he got rid of a whole bunch of people that were doing the behind the scenes stuff, and he's basically, I think he even called himself the interim technical director. So that the people between him and Tuchel weren't there, so they had to deal with each other directly. And apparently Tuchel wasn't communicating with him very well. There was various fallouts between the two of them. My question is, has the club let down Tuchel for not implementing these go-betweens, A, for the signings, but B, so the structure of the club isn't as affected as what it's been of recent?
Let's be real. This guy is the same guy that fell out with, and this goes all the way back to Dortmund. Behind their scenes, there was stuff going on there before he left to PSG. Obviously, Tuchel wanted certain players, and Dortmund as a small club couldn't provide him the tools to challenge the likes of Bayern Munich, which they just physically can't. PSG went to PSG, same thing. He wanted a lot of the players out. He couldn't control. Just the same story. And now we're at Chelsea, and it's the same story. No, you can't keep going everywhere like Mourinho and trying to shake up trees. Your job there is to get the best out of the players at your disposal. Did he do that? Number one, because that is his prime job. Did he do that? No. Get the best out of the what you have there, and then you can say, "Oh, I need this, I need that." He didn't do that. So no, the club didn't let him down. He let himself down. Tuchel screwed Tuchel.
Oh, people, listen, before we carry on, we've got a ghost in the room, bruv. We've got a ghost in the building. You know what I mean? Hey, Mr. K.A., what you telling me?
Oh, shoot, K.A., yeah?
Nah, I can't hear you. I don't know what's going on.
This is why you don't show this kind of
No, this is why, bro. He's normally sleeping. We can see you, we can't hear you.
Right, continue.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool. But truth, look. Right. So, with the money spent, because they've spent 275 million, what you said is right. They're expecting results. They're expecting him to hit the ground running. They've spent the most money in a single transfer window, record breaking. So I get it from that perspective, but bro, it's 7 games into the season. Like, surely
I would have sacked him after game 1.
Oh my
would have got
days,
game
bro.
1 for me.
After they beat Everton.
It's not that, it's his football. It's his football. 2 years ago when they won the Champions League, after that season, we talked about Chelsea being champions. We're talking about an elite club. That's what we think. We put them in the Man City, Liverpool, Real Madrid category. Elite club, the elite of the elite. Tell me one elite club that plays 3 at the back. Yes, it's a good formation to catch teams off guard. I keep on saying this. It is not sustainable for a whole season. Even he knows it's not sustainable for a whole season because there's too many weaknesses. Us coaches, we know how to deal with 3 at the back. We've schooled it, we've taught, we've gone to the workshops. We know how to do a 3 at the back, but he persisted it. It's the same issue Tottenham are going to have with Conte. It's the same issue that he has. It's just not sustainable for a whole season. And like the signings this year, maybe you're right. Some of it wasn't his, but you've got the tools there. Gallagher's come back from Palace. He looks like trash. Mason Mount has been run into the ground.
Oh my day, bro. He's average. Don't be guessing up these average footballers, bro. Not Gallagher, Lord Mason Mount, bro.
No, but I'm just saying that Mason Mount's been run to the ground. Oh my gosh, Havertz, man was being taught as the Ozil 2.0, the next big thing from Germany. Ever since Chelsea, he's finished. Who else has come in? He's killed big man Lukaku, who came in as the best striker in the world at that time.
Oh my days.
He left like he was Emmanuel Adebayor or something. Who else we're talking about? The only person that's excelled on him has been James, because he relies on defenders doing most of his work. He wants defenders to attack, he wants defenders to defend, but he don't want the rest of his players to do anything else. It's been long overdue. He's a fraud.
Okay, welcome back. It's nice to see. Is this guy still on mute, bruv?
No, he said carry on. I think he's doing something.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, we'll continue. Whilst Mr. K starts. Yeah, now we can.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You can hear me. What's
Yeah.
up,
welcome
guys?
back.
I finally had a bit of time to make a bit of an appearance, man. Sorry I was a bit late, but it's nice to be back on the poddy.
It's nice to have you back, bro. It's nice to have you back.
You guys have missed me. No one to put the truth in his place. I know he's missed me.
Hey, okay, welcome back. Listen, let me hear your thoughts. What do you think about this whole Tuchel situation? Were you shocked? Do you think it was right that he was sacked? Give us your input on what you thought about it, bro.
I was surprised that he was sacked. It kind of felt like it came out of nowhere, but you could argue that the signs were there, as the truth talked about. You could see it in Tuchel himself. He seemed like he started to get a bit withered and a bit like disheveled, a bit like Wenger, to be honest, a bit like Mourinho. Like when they started to go a bit like speaking out, a bit out of term and a bit out of like character.
Yeah.
talking about the team and like I don't know, it just
Yep.
you could say the signs were there, but it still felt like a surprise. It's in Chelsea's culture, but it's a new management, new regime, and he was backed. He had money spent. Players came in, so arguably it's just a shocker. And but you could argue it's the right time for change. Beginning of the season, a lot of times.
Me? Oh.
If you gave Tuchel a bit more time, I think Chelsea could have turned it around because they were coming into some good fixtures. So
No, listen, it's all fair points. It's all fair points, and I get it. I'm just trying to give the other side of the argument. Me personally, I couldn't give a shit. I don't care. Chelsea don't burn in hell for all I care. Like I love to see. It's just I love to see it. But look, Tuchel's gone. Truth, what's going to be his legacy at Chelsea Football Club? What is he going to be remembered for at Chelsea Football Club? He bought them a Champions League, bought them the Club World Cup, bought them a Super Cup, got to 2 finals. Like, what are we looking at? Because remember, we also forget he dealt with a very difficult time with the transition to Abramovich to Bowley, and he handled it really, really well. So again, this is another thing where it's like he could have deserved a little bit more time because of the way how he dealt with the situation. He protected the club from getting any sort of criticism about how it was handled and all that. So it's a bit mad. I can't lie.
Bowley as a businessman seems like he's a person who wants things done. When he's ready to move, make action, it happens, man. And when he wants it done yesterday. So he decided he felt like he needed a change. Maybe he thought it was the right time for a new manager to come in. I don't know if you guys have talked about the possibilities, but
well, no, we haven't gotten there yet. We're gonna get there. But Tuchel's legacy, what is it gonna be?
Well, it's the same legacy as Di Matteo, man. Like,
yeah, he doesn't really have one.
He won a fluky Champions League, and that's it. That is it. Like, there's nothing more to say. The joke is, this is how badly Di Matteo is remembered. No one actually remembered that he won the FA Cup. The man did a double in that time. Like, Tuchel, Champions League, I give him his medal, but that's it. He's not going to be remembered. He's not a Chelsea legend.
He's going to be remembered for that handshake.
Yeah, that's the only literally. I wanted Conte versus Tuchel Part 2. I was getting ready for that, but
mate, I heard you weren't the same ever since that handshake, man. So, I don't know. So this guy was flexing his guns, but apparently he ain't been the same since that handshake.
Well, look, Tuchel, listen, for me, I say it's a blessing in disguise because no one wants to be involved with the poison that is Chelsea Football Club. So me personally, I think it's a great time to get your way out. In saying that, guys, obviously we've seen that who's next. We've seen the name Pochettino come up. We've seen the name Zidane come up. But the guy that seems to be the front runner is Graham Potter, who is at Brighton. Do you think that's a good move for him? He is a manager that plays progressive football. Obviously, the truth will give the insight into the style of play that he has. But is it a good move for him, or is it career suicide for him?
This is it. It's like, is it time for him to step up? He's got Birmingham playing well, but
Brighton.
Oh, sorry, I said Birmingham. Brighton. He's got Brighton playing well. I don't know why I said that. He's got Brighton playing well, but it's only been 6 games. They haven't really played anyone big. Okay, they played Man United, but Man United ain't in the best shape. So, yeah, he hasn't been tested this season. Last season, we saw that he had the same team, he had the same system, good players, but he only could get them so far. They still struggled to score at times. They struggled to find a balance of defense. Like, they were either really good defensively or they were really attacking and they'll concede goals. So he's still figuring out himself. And to be honest, this could be career suicide, as you mentioned. Like, and I would actually be a bit disappointed if he took this and he failed because he was a step too far, a step too early. And, you might not get that same chance again. So I don't know if it is the right time for Potter. because Chelsea, as we've seen, they demand a lot. They're a club on the big stage. They're a Champions League club, and if he's not performing, he could be gone by the end of the season. So I don't know if it's the right time for him, to be honest.
Listen, all facts. I don't disagree with anything that you said. I think for Potter, I think that because Truth and I were talking about it last week, and we were like, he deserves a big job, just not our club. But I think out of all the big clubs, this is probably the worst one that he could go to, because even though they've said that he'll get the time and he'll get the backing to implement his style and his ethos on the football club, we know Chelsea is all about trophies and result, and that is it.
If he gets knocked out of the FA Cup and Champions League, trying to figure it out, he'll be gone.
This is it. So, from your perspective, man's cameras all over the place.
I know.
From your perspective, like Graham Potter, like does he believe the shit that the Chelsea board is saying they want to change the mentality, they want to change the way how the club is run, and they want to go down this direction? Or does he say, do you know what? Thanks, but no thanks. I'm going to stay at Brighton, and then if another club comes along, I'll do that, because he has more of an opportunity and he's more secure in knowing that he'll be able to do what he needs to do to get the club where he wants it to be.
A lot of these managers, me included, find it hard to turn down any opportunity that comes along in terms of... Nah, trust it. It's like it's a managerial thing. Everyone
obviously he's ambitious.
But it's just manager. No manager is gonna turn down a bigger job. It's very rare. Even though they may not be qualified, even though they may not be the best, no one turns it down. Look at Ole. Ole, Man United came coming. Ole wasn't nowhere near qualified. He wasn't turning that down.
Of course not.
Lampard wasn't qualified to take Chelsea. He wasn't turning that down. Like, these guys are not gonna turn these kind of jobs down. I wish Potter turns it down though, because I rate him very highly. Potter's my guy. I rate him very, very highly.
I think everyone does.
The only way I would take it if I'm Potter is if I am guaranteed to be given 3 years to get something out of it, no matter how bad it gets.
Fam, how are you going to put that in the contract?
Yeah, you can put it in the contract. They have to pay out more. Be like, you have to pay me a certain amount if you sack me beforehand, but I want the opportunity to try and make this club something better than it was. I kind of have a feeling that, but that's what Bowley kind of wants. He might want that, because I've been hearing in certain reports that Bowley wants his own guy in there and he wants to build a new ethos at Chelsea. He wants to get away from this sacking robotic mentality thing that he wants to think. Ironically,
why spend all that money though, and back Tuchel? Why spend all that money and back Tuchel?
I don't think he backed Tuchel. I don't like when TJ was saying that. Some of these weren't his players. Maybe that's the truth. Maybe he was just getting players in, and someone's gonna come in, but it doesn't make sense. Maybe he really doesn't know what he's doing, this Ted Bowley guy. Maybe he doesn't really know what he's doing, and it's just full of crap. But yeah, Potter, for me, stay clear, Graham. Stay clear. There are better opportunities. Leicester's going to be up for grabs soon. Everton might be
Leicester
up
will
for
be
grabs
perfect for him. Leicester
exactly.
Perfect.
Villa, all clubs where you're going to be given the time to implement. The players will listen to you. Look at the players in there. Do you think they're going to listen to Harry Potter? They're not going to listen to him.
This is it.
Aubameyang, imagine Aubameyang, bro.
Aubameyang, Koulibaly, Thiago Silva. Imagine man trying to tell Thiago Silva something like it's nuts. And these are the risks that Graham Potter will be taking. I understand what you're saying, Truth. We know he's not going to say no, because he's probably thinking to himself, will I ever get this chance again to manage at these big clubs, especially him being a British manager? It's very few and far between. It's very few and far between though, because
he knows he will.
You know that normally the foreign manager are ahead of you in the pecking order. So from that sense, I completely understand it. But I'm just like, bro, don't ruin your career for Chelsea Football Club, because they are the most selfish club that there is out there when it comes to managers. They're only for themselves, and if you ain't getting the results, they will throw you under the bus and cut your throat just like that, right? That's what working for scum gets you. Yeah, this is what it does. So, Potter, if I was you, steer clear. But at the end of the day, I know you're not going to turn it down. Finally, Kay, quickly, if Potter does turn it down, who's next? Who else? I think Zidane gets ruled out. He's waiting for the France job. Who else is out there that we would say, yeah, all right, cool. Chelsea could look at and be like, yeah, this person could take over.
I don't know. I haven't really been. So I've been busy at work today. I haven't seen any shortlists or really know who's available. Yeah, I've heard Poch's name about and heard Zidane, and that's about it really. Poch will be a decent stopgap, someone that you can just dash away, bro. When he's when he starts acting Spursy, you just dash him away.
Man said he'll dash him away.
Poch, but I don't know what his situation is with PSG at the moment, but
he's gone, bro.
He's done, bro. He's gone, bro.
Oh, he's available. See, this is why my life is, guys. That's why I haven't been on the poddy. My life's been all over the place.
K's been hibernated. He ain't know what's going on, bro. You just came out the cave. Literally just came out the cave. So, but nah, Poch is the one that's being linked. I don't see it happening for a variety of different reasons, mainly because of the whole link to Spurs. I know Chelsea ain't Arsenal, but it's still
I don't think that
Chelsea
matters nowadays as much anymore, man. With clubs, managers have been managing other rival teams. Yeah, Benitez done Liverpool, he done Everton. These things happen.
No, you got a point there. You got a point there, but I just can't see Chelsea going down that route. It'll be interesting to see it. I'd love to see it, but I just can't see it happening. But people will find out what happens. This story will move on, and we'll see who will become the next Chelsea manager. Tuchel, sayonara. Listen,
maybe they get Jimmy Floyd.
You got, man said Jimmy Floyd. You got your Champions League medal. You move on, go to, I don't know, whatever job is out there. I'm sure jobs will come up for you. Graham Potter, stay away from Chelsea. But people, we need to move on, and we need to move on to, it's convenient that, you're both here. We need to move on to the big game that went this past weekend. United.
All I can say is this.
United versus Arsenal.
That's all I'm saying.
Which finished 3-1 at Old Trafford. Kay, I'm going to come to you first, because obviously I know that Truth and I did the preview last week. We'll leave that out of it for now, but just in terms of the context of the whole game, like, how did you see it from Arsenal's perspective? Like, what was your reaction to how the game panned out?
I think we played okay. We played decently. It wasn't our best game of the season, but I think we, throughout the game, at most times took it to United, gave them a good run for their money, and you could argue that it was the scoreline itself, a 3-1 scoreline. Looking at it on paper, you're like, oh wow, United did their thing. They kind of smoked Arsenal, but there were decisions and moments in that game where we showed that we're not all the way there yet. We had a couple of lapses of concentration, a couple of missed defending, a couple of missed opportunities to just basically make the right decision, which cost us a couple of goals here and there. But overall, we played all right. Jesus played okay. We had the VAR decision with Martinelli that changed the game, arguably. So that went in. Different atmosphere. So I think we played okay. It was our first big test, and I saw a bit of the last podcast where the Truth wasn't as confident as many other Arsenal fans were, and a lot of the stuff he said came out. For once, I'll give him his flowers. A lot of the stuff he said was actually true. So not to get too excited, not to get ahead of ourselves. A broken clock is right twice a day, isn't it? So I'll give him his flowers, but I think we shouldn't be too down on ourselves. It's our first big test. We need to pick ourselves up again, because in a couple of games the fixtures are going to turn, and it's not going to be as easy as it was. But compared to last season, we had a hard run. It derailed nearly our whole season. So let's not let this one loss derail our season, man. Let's kind of kick on.
Listen, it was a fair assessment. I think, personally, before I move on to the shoot, I think Jesus was fantastic. Apart from obviously not really getting any shots off, but I think the way how his general play was very good. I think that Martinelli and Saka caused us problems. I had a feeling Saka was going to cause Malacia problems. Malacia stuck to his guns, did all he could, but when Saka's in that sort of mood, it's very difficult to play against him. Martinelli drifted in and out, but I think he was good. Odegaard controlled the game, but only controlled the game without the danger, apart from obviously the pass that led to the goal. Your defense. What's your defense? I can't say too much on your defense. It just wasn't good enough. But
Anthony Ben White didn't have a good. Sorry to interrupt. Ben White didn't have a good game against Anthony. And
Zinchenko, that would have been Zinchenko on the other side.
Oh my god! Sorry, it was Zinchenko that came out and he said that he bullied him, or like he had him on the lock and key, basically. Sorry, I'm getting everything mixed up.
To be fair, I think there wasn't much from Anthony. I didn't expect it. It was a surprise to me to see him starting, to be honest.
Yeah.
But obviously he got the goal and debut. Apart from that, there wasn't really much else to go off. But I wouldn't have expected anything different. But yeah, truth for you. Obviously, as Kay alluded to, you said you wasn't as confident. You predicted the United win in the Prem predictions. For you, how do you assess that game? How do you assess the first big test for Arsenal?
It's exactly what I feared, man. That game just went exactly the way I thought it would go. And in the group chat, I was saying the same thing even in the first half. It felt like Wenger games when we played you guys under Wenger, where we dominate, have chances, but just not score. And the not scoring thing is really coming back to bite us. As good as Jesus was, not even as good, as great as Jesus was playing, I thought he gave Varane and Martinez torrid time. I thought he gave him torrid time. But the one issue is that he's not where we need him to be at the vital times. If you get what I'm saying. He's not where he should be at the vital times, and that is what came back to haunt us a lot. I was disappointed. I honestly didn't feel Man United were good at all. But the thing is, for me, I would have preferred to play poorly and win the game. I take no consolation in playing well and losing this game. Not in Arteta's third year. He could do that in his first year, maybe second. But third year is about getting results, man. Somehow we finished bottom, of the Big Six league last year, and Man United existed. Like, how is that possible? Man United existed, and we finished bottom of the Big Six league. Like, that says it all. We lost against this United team, even though we had 60% possession, and we were playing at Old Trafford. And this United team is just gone back to playing Ole-style football, obviously with a tad marginally better players. And when I mean better players, I'm just talking about the defenders that got ripped. So I don't know I don't know what consolation to take from this game. I'm really upset. And as I said, the defense, I'm not going to give too much thing. They had no protection, really. There was nothing in front of the defense. There was no one smelling danger. Lokonga had a good game, but he wasn't where he needed to be. Someone like Partey would have made a huge difference. For me, if Partey plays that game, we win. I think if Partey plays that game, we win. Because he would be in the right, he would dominate that midfield. Eriksen, Bruno, he would have dominated that midfield. McTominay was in an early yellow. Yellow thingy, but yeah, I was disappointed with the game, to be honest. Even though I knew it was gonna happen and I did call it, I was still very, very disappointed to lose it because, as I said, I just take no consolation in playing well and winning. Playing well and losing.
I fully anticipate Arsenal fans to be upset. I said it, that you lot should be upset. You played good football, had more of the ball, but the what's the word I'm looking for? It's all about the two boxes, the two penalty areas, and Arsenal just didn't do enough. He had more shots, but we had more shots on target. I don't remember De Gea having to make a save. I don't remember him being stretched. I completely agree with you. If the Martinelli goal stands, it's a completely different game because Truth and I mentioned it. We was like, we still don't know what we're going to be like when we go a goal down. I personally, I thought it was a foul, but at the same time, I think the ref doesn't give it in real time. Leave it alone. Let the goal stand. But it is what it is. There's nothing we can do. And we've seen what's happened with VAR over the weekend, and there's a lot that's left to be desired about it. I think in terms of the overall game, I think the first goal, which I think many Arsenal fans don't know, our first goal, every single player on that pitch touched the ball before we scored, and you did not intercept once. So I know everyone's talking about, we only played in a counter-attack, but every single player touched the ball before we scored that goal.
That was very good, bro.
Yeah. And Anthony got his goal in the debut. After that, after they disallowed goal, you lot took over up until about the 60th minute. And then obviously we got in again. Rashford got through, scored the goal. Then Arteta goes absolutely crazy and makes a triple sub for no reason. I even said it on the group chat. Yeah, very naive substitution. And then we go 3-1 up. But I think there was a couple of naive things. That triple substitution was one. The second naive thing that Arteta done, and I think it played into our hands perfectly. And I think it's credit to Ten Hag. He brought CPR7 on. And when he brought CPR7 on, your whole defense said, it's Cristiano, he's not going to run in behind. Let's move even higher up the pitch. Yeah. Forgetting that Rashford was still on the pitch. Yeah. Right. And I think that's where those two goals came from. It's like, it's only CR7. Like, he's not going to run in behind, but forgetting about Rashford. So there was a couple.
We were attacking so much, We were attacking so much. And the game, I'm not going to lie, after the first 10 minutes, and when we got into the game, I think it felt so easy in terms of the way we were cutting through you guys and were getting towards your box and this is why you need that experience. And this is why Jacques is not that guy. Someone should have been on the team just to remind the team about the defensive duty. They're so young. They don't understand still that they need to actually still defend. That United was still dangerous. Throughout the whole match, United are going to be dangerous because that's what they do. And you got the players to hurt us. And this is the issue. I thought experience was a huge problem. And as you alluded to, a naivety all around on the pitch.
No, 100%. And listen, for me, I thought Christian Eriksen was fantastic. The first pass for the first goal into Bruno, brilliant between the lines. The second goal was the same thing in between the lines as well. I think he controlled it well. I think Odegaard did give him the runaround. I won't dispute that. Odegaard did give him the runaround, but I think in terms of the importance of Christian Eriksen playing those balls between the lines, and I think that's something that you lot don't have, because if and when I say that, I say from deep, not the Odegaard position where he's on the edge of the box. Maybe Partey would have done that had he been fit. But it was margins in this game. It was small margins.
It was
in this game.
It was.
But truth, I do agree with you. It's Arteta's third season now.
Third season.
These performances need to turn into results. You had a similar performance, probably even better again at the Emirates against City, where you should have won that game. So I think these ones need to turn into results. But truth, we did say, and KA, I want to get your opinion on this. I did say to the truth last week. I said, if you lot lose this game, I don't think it's important. I think it was more important for us to win. However, KA, if you lot don't beat Everton this weekend, what does that then say about where you lot are as a squad right now?
I don't think it says too much. I think coming off the back of a loss, it will be demoralizing. It will hurt the team but I think for the start we've had, we were 100% up until United.
Well, that being thing doesn't mean anything, man. Like, for me, this game was the chance for us to actually go. But okay, think about it. You've got a chance to go 4 points clear of Man City, 9 points clear of Liverpool.
But are you thinking like that at this point of the season, that
if the players are not thinking like that, if the players are not thinking like that, there's a huge problem.
No, I understand if you
They-
said if you've got a chance to cement top spot and be comfortable in number one,
Yeah.
then I would understand a bit more. But to say, oh, we're ahead of Chelsea by 3, or what's City or Liverpool 9 points or 4 points ahead
Yeah,
of
why
City,
not?
I don't think
These
that.
guys are your rivals.
But do you really expect them to win this season? Is that what you're expecting? That's
That
the
the
mentality that
truth
they
is
have?
said it. You just said it there.
I'm-
You lot are in the
I'm
title
saying,
race.
no. I'm saying, yeah, you are on top. These guys are going to be there or thereabouts when it comes to fighting for the title or top four. No matter what, you are thinking we can get 4 points clear and then we can go from there. You cannot, I don't know what the plan. There's no maturity in this team. And it still comes down to the manager. He needs to be implemented.
don't know.
You could tell there's no maturity because look at his subs. Look at his subs. Look at the
He's
way he
working
didn't
with
calm down the
he's working
team.
with what he's got. Though,
Hold
man.
on, one second, okay. Sorry to cut you off. Arteta, Mike L, don't violate the team. How dare
What?
you? How dare you bring on Eddie Murphy and Ketia to try and win the game? How dare you try and disrespect Man United by trying to bring on Eddie Murphy and
Who else
Ketia
is
to
he
win?
going to bring on?
I don't care. You should have
Who else
brought on
is gonna
another
bring on?
goalkeeper. You do not bring that crap guy on to try
Nah,
and win.
come on, man.
How dare you?
No,
Sorry.
But this is what he did. But this is what he did. We signed nobody. Our squad is short. This game, yeah, that Man United game, you don't know how vital it was in terms of mentality because we can't get through the season physically because our squad is too short. Our board didn't think it was good fit enough to go back into the transfer market and get some reinforcements, even though Partey was down and he's injury prone, and Nene was down, and he's not even good enough anyway. Zinchenko was injured. We don't have a right back. We don't have a backup forward. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we needed to win this game to mentally get us through the hard times. Losing it set us back so much. You know how much pressure's on that? I think it's a Liverpool game that we got. Next Big Six game that we got.
Yeah, I think it's either them or Spurs, one out of the two of them.
Do you know how much unnecessary pressure? Rather than if we beat Man United, we're going into that Liverpool game thinking, whoa, we can tussle now with the Big Six properly. We could go away to Old Trafford and win. There's no fear of Liverpool come to the Emirates. But now there's going to prove the pressure in the game. Can we win a Big Six game? But it's absolutely ridiculous, man. I can't believe a freaking manager is thinking such like an amateur, man. Like this is why I'm never ever saying that he's the right man for the job.
Okay, are you still trusting the process?
I don't know about trusting the process, but at the moment,
The words have changed. The words have changed with this flip flopper.
No, but I believe you can still get us. We can still get fourth or top four. Sorry, that belief is still there.
I believe I could be a billionaire and thing. I'm not talking about believing. I'm talking about is he the guy
To get our top four? Yeah.
I was dreaming of more than top four at the start of the season. To be honest, man, this is third year. Why am I thinking of top four in third year?
But that's not being realistic. Then that's
why not? Chelsea in the mud. Chelsea in the mud. Tottenham playing three at the back.
City and Liverpool.
Liverpool are in the mud.
Yeah, they just lost.
Change. They just got pumped 4-1 by Napoli.
Yeah, I know. I saw the results.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, look, for me personally, before we wrap on Arsenal, me personally, as a United fan, like, I'm happy in it. That's 4 in a row. I can't remember the last time I've said that United have won 4 in a row.
They're on the up. They're on the up. They're
10 well, we're still where we are. 6th place is still what we're looking at. Europa League win is still what we're looking at because we're nowhere near where we are. But in terms of where he's gotten us from where we were against that defeat in Brentford to Brighton and Brentford to where we are now, there's an improvement. I know in time in terms of trying to dominate the games and keeping possession and being comfortable and having that possession will come. At this moment in time, the one thing that he has done is he's made us look a lot more solid at the back. De Gea hasn't had as much work to do, and you lot know last season the amount of work that De Gea had to do to keep us in games. Christian Eriksen's playing well. The players are running, which is something that we weren't seeing either. So those are the positive I can take, but I'm still apprehensive because we're still letting the other team have the ball. The other team are still getting in at us to a certain extent. But it will take time. As I said, this season is still going to be ups and downs. I'm not getting gassed like every other United fan. I still don't think we'll make top 4. I still think Europa League is the priority. I still want to see the first 11. Man. I still want to see the first 11 playing at Sociedad, and then at Crystal Palace we can play Harry Maguire. Like Europa League is the priority. Now top 4 is unrealistic. You got Man City with Cyborg Haaland.
I don't know about Man City. That's it. Name another team.
Spurs I expect to finish in the top 4. I know Liverpool are going through a tough time, but I still think once they get their players back, they will be there or thereabouts. We all know that. And then Arsenal are still ahead of us. We saw it on Sunday in terms of where your football is and where our football is. You're ahead of us. I know you lost, but what I'm saying is in terms of sustainability, your football's more sustainable and you've had more time with your manager. That's why I'm saying I think you lot are still ahead of us. And then Chelsea, we'll see what happens. But I still think that everyone else is ahead of us at this moment in time. Yes, people are having blips, but I don't expect it to go on for too long. So right now, we're calm, we're chilled, we're happy that we've got 4 in a row. And we move. But in just finally for Arsenal, truth, what's the expectation now after that game? Is it changed or is it still the same?
I told you after that transfer window that we had that losing this game will tell me a lot about where we are. And that trust me, that transfer window was so shocking on that last day. Not getting in the right reinforcements. I've seen this show. I've seen this show for the past 20 years. I'm right now. I can tell you that we will be around 5th or 6th. It's gone from me predicting us getting a top 3, fighting for a top 3, to go into 5th or 6th. That's how disappointed I am in that transfer window.
See this guy, he was getting on me about.
Jesus, I know Jesus is good.
Right,
but he's not the goal scorer. He's not the goal scorer. He's good. He's very good. But I see him in that number 10 position. He's not the goal scorer that we need, because him even being half a second off from where he needs to be is the difference between a goal. It's the difference between scoring a goal and not. We got a lot of work to do, either to get to January or from here and now. But we're playing 2 games a week up until World Cup.
Everyone is though. Everyone is.
Look at the squad that we have. Look at the squad that we have.
They made their bed, bro. They made their bed.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, are you still top 4 or?
Oh.
Huh? What happened?
Nah, I think my connection was messing up.
Oh no, so are you still back in top 4 or?
Yeah, I'm still back in top 4.
People, listen, we'll see what happened with Arsenal. Listen, the title race is still on. They're still top of the league. That's like they're not still top of the league, people. They're not.
This is what I'm saying. This is why this guy is talking about going 4 points clear. We're still top of the league. How is that demoralizing? When you look at the team, when you're number 1,
fam, you're top of the league, which means you're in the title race.
6 games. It's been 6 games.
So if we won and we were 4 points clear, you'd be like, you would.
Okay, fine. If we lose the next game,
this is why I say this guy contradicts himself.
If we lose the next game, and then the rest of the team, okay, well, Man City and Tottenham both can't win, so that doesn't count. But if we lose, we could drop to 3rd. Like top of the league right now doesn't mean anything because people are only separated by 3-4 points, 2-3 points. It doesn't mean anything. It does not mean anything. Like I'm not talking about
earlier on when you were talking about going 4 points clear. What was the whole point of that then?
4 points clear is so much different from 2 or 3 points. What are you talking about? Going 4 points clear of Man City
at the top. 4 points clear at the top of the league, right? Is that what you're talking about right now?
Imagine 4 points clear. You don't.
Yeah, 4 points clear where? 4 points clear where?
At the top.
After what? After how many games?
And did I just say Man City? Who else did I say? We would have been 9 points clear of Liverpool.
Oh, Liverpool.
We would have been 9 points clear of Man United. We'd have been what do you call it? 8 points clear of Chelsea. All of our title challenge. I'm not just talking about Man City. I'm not just talking about Man City. I'm just mentioning these teams because they are our rivals. We're gonna drop points here or there. But this game was vital for mentality. Like losing it in mentality is a huge thing, man. We know fam, you've been watching the same show I have for 20 years. Why I don't understand why you have the same things than I do.
My connection.
Why do you have a different recollection than I do when we watch the
You guys
same
are
show for
frozen for me.
20 years?
Oh, you're back. But it froze. I don't know if it's the weather, man. I'm getting lightning and rain out here, out in the sticks, bro. I'm surprised you can't hear it, bro. It is funny. Can you not hear it? I think it's messing up with my connection.
You're far away,
bro, that
You're
Vagine
far
internet,
away.
bro. That internet from Ghana, bro. That's what you try to use, bro. But yeah, people,
Surprised you can't hear it, bro.
we'll
Anyway,
see what happens with Arsenal. Truth, quickly before we get to Prem predictions, guys, we need to talk about VAR. Obviously, there was a lot of controversial decisions that were given. Obviously, before I do my version of Ref Watch, truth, truth. I say K first of all, because obviously you haven't been in the group very much. And speaking, what did you think about this decision? Obviously, you had the Arsenal one, Arsenal United, the push in the back. You had the Chelsea one against West Ham with what was the goalkeeper's name? Mendy. And then you had the Newcastle versus Palace one with Mitchell. I don't know if you've seen all of them, but what was your perception of that? And are you team get VAR out now? Is that your mentality, or is it a case of the referees just aren't good enough?
Yeah, I'm more of the latter, where the referees need to they need to, I don't know if they need to go away to St. George's Park and like just have some VAR boot camp, because the technology is there it's good, it's progressive, it's meant to make the sport better, and it can do if used right, if applied right. So but then these decisions is just showing us like they're still rookies, they're still novices at the game. So a lot of decisions were rightly so controversial. And there's really not much of a better word you could choose, because these decisions are affecting games. They're affecting league position. It's going to go a long way. So I think that they just need to step up and I don't know, actually just take their time to actually understand what they want the rules to be, how they want the game to be played, because this back and forth, every season the rules are changing slightly. Halfway through the season, the rules are changing slightly. People don't really know what the interpretations are, even the refs themselves, because we're hearing one thing, seeing another thing another week. In one game, even on the same day, we're seeing one thing happen, and on another day, because of the human aspect of it, they need to. That's where sometimes the gray areas come into it, and obviously we are human at the end of the day. They are human, but if they have a better understanding or a strict sort of like guideline policies that is kind of becomes part of their psyche in the game, then because I don't know, it's like they need to work on the psychology of it as well, because we all know, they will know. If you're being told, we've talked about this before as well on the poddy, it's been talked about everywhere. If a referee is being sent to the side monitor, 9 out of 10 times he's gonna think, I've missed something. I even whether we don't know what he's been told in his ear, and I'm okay with us not hearing. It will be better in some cases if we hear the discussions, but sometimes you don't want to reveal or open the can of worms, because that could just bring up a whole.
yeah, it was one of the points I was gonna make. Yeah.
So you don't know if you want to open that can of worms. So it's gonna could be a whole new circus. But I don't know. If we had some better idea, or maybe afterwards you could kind of like explain a little bit of what those conversations were, because if he's been sent, they need to somehow maybe learn that it doesn't always mean you've missed something. It doesn't always mean a decision needs to be overturned. It just means go over there and get a better perspective. And I don't know why they're not telling them that. So I don't know. There's a lot to do. Again, you might give better understanding perspectives from your point of view and your experience with refereeing, and Truth might have some with the FA and stuff. So
well, that's
I'm just a man on the sofa at the moment, man. So.
But that's what I was going to ask. The Truth. I don't know if you've seen the FA whilst you've been at work or whatnot, or heard anything. Obviously, we know that the Prem and the PGMLO have had a conversation. The PGMLO has apologized and said yes, there were mistakes made. Have you heard anything from the FA in terms of what's going on with VAR and what the thinking is going on?
The joking in the stadium, yeah. A lot of the PGMLO are not even based there no more. Like they've actually, I don't know if they said let's move out the sticks and go somewhere safer, because because that, but it's a joke to me. It really is a joke. Like, I don't understand the rules of what VAR is meant to be used for. Or
I don't think
because,
they do.
for example, let me go to the Arsenal one.
Mhm.
I think you could, if you go and analyze that, then you could say it's a foul.
Mhm.
Yes, it's maybe a soft foul, but you could say it's a foul. But in real time, when the referee's making a decision and he's seen he's seen the entire thing, can VAR really go and re-referee the game because of that? Like, he's gone to now scientifically view an incident instead of saying, "Oh, I made a decision. I thought it was soft, but I let it carry on." Like, I don't understand it, because now every single thing can be reviewed now. Like, we're trying to review every single thing, everything that leads up to a goal. And not only that, when you watch it, and they all do this, I hate
Slow
this.
motion.
Why are they watching it in slow motion?
Mm-hmm.
That's not how the game is played. That's not how the game is played. Why is it being slowed down so they can see every single thing? That's not. It gives a false representation of the actual incident that happened. And then we go into Mendy and Chelsea things like, oh, why are people making these kind of decisions? Well, I know why. They are not football people in charge. There's not football people watching this. I guarantee you, a lot of these guys that are watching this haven't even touched a football pitch in their lifetime, apart from probably a few pro refereeing thingies. They haven't played football, so they don't understand what is going on in the pitch. They can't even understand when someone's play acting. Know that Mendy was play acting. Come on, everyone knew Mendy was play acting. The Willock decision, so much poor decisions. Like, it's in no other country this is the issue. No other country, because common sense prevails. But in this country, there's no common sense. They need to do what we've suggested: go around the world and start scouting the best referees in every other league and bringing them over, because the referees in this country are awful. Full stop.
Listen, I hear everything that you lot are saying. Obviously, K, given the fan perspective, obviously, truth coming from an FA perspective. I hear you. Before I get into it, and don't get me wrong, a lot of what you say, I agree with. There's a couple of things that I want to say before I get into what actually happened. First things first, being a referee is probably the hardest job in football. Because you're the only person on that pitch that if you make a mistake, it can go on forever and ever and ever, and everyone will scrutinize it. A lot of people say there's not football people. They probably didn't play at the level. We're talking about Premier League, Championship and all that. What I will say is, right, because I had a lot of foolishness about getting ex-pros and players involved in refereeing. No one's stopping them. But they don't want to do it because they understand how difficult it is to be a referee. We saw Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher go, I think it was a couple of seasons ago, go over to the referees and see what they do. And they had a shocker of a time because it is very difficult. So you can get all the ex-pros and ex-players. It's not like in management where you can get fast-tracked. And if you're a fan favorite, you can get a job here and there. Refereeing, you have to start from the bottom and work your way to the top. It's just the way how it is. So ex-pros, if you want to come over and do it, but you're not going to because you know how difficult it is. Just saying. Anyway, disregard that. I agree 100% with what you lot have said. There was a lot of mistakes being made. VAR isn't being used properly. The easiest one to start with is Eriksen and Odegaard. As I said, if the referee gives that in real time, I have no issue because I think it's a foul. The fact that the referee didn't give it, leave it alone. Let the goal stand. We move on. Don't try and re-referee it. There's no point. It wasn't clear and obvious, and this is what happens. The clear and obvious gets tainted. Like no one knows what's clear and obvious, and they're getting involved in things that shouldn't be clear and obvious. Leave it alone. That's my first thing. The Mendy situation, I hate to say it, and I don't want to say it because it's my fellow referees, but it is a disgraceful decision. It is disgraceful, and I don't know how you come to that conclusion. I really don't. And this is the point where Kay was making. This is the time where I would have loved to hear what VAR said about that and how they came to that, because I just think that is absolutely disgraceful decision, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it wasn't a foul. Everybody can see it. You don't need to be a referee to understand that it's not a foul. And they had an absolute shocker there. The Joe Willock situation, it's a point where I agree with Dermot Gallagher on that one. They were so focused on the foul on Guaita that they didn't actually rewind it 2 seconds before and look at the actual push into the player. I genuinely.
It wasn't even 2 seconds. It was part of the same. It was part of the same.
I know, but I think they were so focused on Guaita that they forgot to look at what happened in terms of how that happened. I think out of all of them, I think out of all of them, that's the one that I could probably say they missed, which isn't an excuse. I'm just saying I think it's the one that they actually missed. The other two, they got involved for no reason and they shouldn't have been making them decisions. And this is the problem now, Cruz. As you said, they shouldn't be re-refereeing games. They shouldn't be getting involved. VAR is there for clear and obvious, and that is it. We saw Michael Oliver go over to the monitor and stick to his decision. I didn't think that it was handball personally, but I leave that to the professionals. I'm not in it, but he had the balls. I think Andre Mariner did it last season as well, where he had the balls to say, do you know what? I still believe what I've done is right, so I'm going to do it. And I think more referees need to do that in these sort of instances. In these sorts of instances, referees got to go, you know what, I'm going with my gut. Now, I think it was the referee for the Crystal Palace and Newcastle game. He's a very new referee, so it's very difficult to go up against someone that's more experienced than you, turn around and say, you know what, I'm going to stick to my decision. That takes balls to do that against someone more experienced than you. Not an excuse, it's just the way how it is, right?
But what are VAR doing? What are they doing though in terms of why are they saying that these things need to be reviewed if it's not clear and obvious? Like, can we get a thing what clear and obvious means?
This is the issue, Truth. I don't know. This is the issue. Like, don't get me wrong. People expect, and this is for the casual fan, people think that because we got VAR, every decision is fact. There's still subjective decisions in the games. It's still subjective to a certain extent. But the clear and obvious thing needs to be addressed because there's things that
that's subjective in itself, man. I don't think you ever be able to. I don't think you ever be able to fully define it.
Because clear and obvious is not what we've seen them get involved in. Clear and obvious is. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that they did.
How many people are there? Because
for me,
I think
it's 3.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So clear and obvious means that all 3 of them have. For me, if it's clear and obvious, all 3 have to agree on that it's clear and obvious. That's fair. But then you got the problem that if all 3 are agreeing that that's something, that means that there's bigger concerns then.
And this is it, and that's why we've said it and you said it. The standard of refereeing needs to be higher. It needs to be higher. The problem with going out and trying to poach the best referees from other countries is they want to stay in their countries. That's the problem. So all the referees that we see in the Champions League, they want to referee in their countries. So it's very difficult to go and poach them from elsewhere. What I think needs to happen is that the standard of refereeing needs to get higher. Like, it's so funny that we used to hate and cuss the likes of Howard Webb and Clattenburg, yet we take them back in a heartbeat now just because the standard of refereeing is down on the floor, right? And I think more needs to be done. The PGMLO needs to do more. The Premier League and the FA all need to come together and do a lot more. And they need to take the experiences from the foreign leagues and see how they do these things. Look at how they do with it. Because we don't have these issues in the Champions League, not very often. We don't have them in the European Championship that just went past. In the World Cups, we don't have it. So there's a lot of learning that needs to be done. But unfortunately,
the thing is, we can't have different rules. And this is one thing in the Premiership I feel one referee is gonna referee a game totally different the other week. Because look, against us last week, it was okay to pin a goalkeeper down and not let him move. And then all of a sudden now you can't even breathe on a goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's crazy.
There's two different things. In Europe, as much as they give soft decisions, we know that it's soft. So regardless, we know that they're a little bit soft, extreme when it comes to certain fouls. But at least we know that they're consistent throughout the whole thing.
And that's the word, consistency. That's all fans want. That's all players want, is consistency. Everyone's got different refereeing styles. That's not a thing. But when it comes to the big decisions, consistency has to be key, and that's what they have to get absolutely correct. But I will finally saying this. A lot of people are anti-VAR. They want VAR to be gone. VAR isn't the problem. The standard of refereeing needs to be higher, because the fact of the matter is fact that VAR has got more decisions right than they have wrong. But it's the people that are using the technology that it has to get better. It has to be used better, because the technology is not going anywhere. It's not going away. So people using it have to get better. And I feel for fans when I see it, because I'm a football fan myself, and I'm just like, brother, I take my referee hat off and I go to put my fan hat on, and I'm just like, brother, like, you're not helping yourself at all. But it's gonna rumble on, bro.
Do you know what I was saying? I would say this. I'll say first of all, referees, as you said, need to be trained better. Have them play. Have them have a league. They have to sign up to a league and they have to play football. Or every single one of them. They should be playing a game midweek every single week. They should be doing tests. They should go over the rules again, make sure.
Oh, they do. That's bi-weekly. No, not the football game, but the testing, and they come together and have meetings. All of that is done bi-weekly.
They watch video.
They go through their games.
Like coaching,
they go through.
They go through their games. They go through games analysis. They have scenarios. All of that does happen.
When I mean go through the rules here, I'm talking about getting rid of some rules and reducing it so it's not convoluted in the referee's head.
That's IFAB. That's IFAB. That's IFAB. That's a whole different thing. That's to do with IFAB. But listen, people.
I think referees are looking at too many things.
It's true. But people listen.
Maybe like they need some sort of adjudicator in like a third party adjudicator in the room as well to mark their performance, like to.
So they do. They get assessed after every game. They get assessed. The PGMLO, they look at it and you get assessed. But the problem is what I was going to say. The pool of elite referees is very small in this country. Yeah, so even when they make mistakes, it's very hard to demote them. That's the problem. That's why I said the standard needs to be raised and the standard needs to be higher. Yeah. So when these big mistakes,
what about the VAR referees?
Oh, I don't know about that, bro. Listen,
are they being assessed?
They should be.
They need to be assessed.
They should be. They should be. But listen, we gotta move on. What time is it? What are we talking about? People, we're gonna have to cut it here. We're gonna have to cut it here. Truth, we'll do Prem predictions on a different one just after this. But people, let us know what you think in the comment section. Let us know what you so long ago. Let us know what you think about Tuchel getting sacked. Was it right? Was it wrong? Is Graham Potter the man for the job? Should it be Poch to come in at Chelsea? Do Chelsea is Todd Bowley trying to be the new Roman? Let us know what you think in the comment section about that. Let us know what you think about the Arsenal United game. Is it time that Arsenal put up or shut up? Do the results have to come in? Are we not trusting the process again, like the truth said, or are we trusting the process that KA said? KA's already said it. Arsenal still top of the league. They're still in the title race. They're still the favourites to win the league. Listen, we need to hear from you and let us know what you think about all the VAR decisions. Let us know. We want to hear from you. Let us know what you think about the decisions. Does the standard need to be higher? Do we need new referees? All of that good stuff. And people, before we go, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get the likes up, get the subscriptions up. I say the time, share. We are here, and don't forget to join our social media pages as well. Links are in the description. People, listen, head over. We're going to do the Prem prediction and Fantasy League pick show after this one. So make sure you head over for that. For now, I want to say thank you very much to my guys, The Truth and Mr. KA. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Yes, give me some likes so I can come back, man.
But yeah, people, make sure you head over to the Prem prediction show. Don't forget, coming up, we'll have another Footie Chat next week. And we'll have the review for UFC 279 as well. So people, stay safe out there. Be safe. Make sure you head over to Prem Predictions and we'll see you very, very soon. Peace.
Peace.